Hey friends, it's Charles here, and I'm here with another comic book review. And today I want to talk about this guy right here, Spider-Woman number 8 from the 2024 run. I am really a big fan of Spider-Woman ever since I read the previous run. I believe that was back in 2019, 2020, around that time. And I really took a liking to the character and her interactions with the Avengers and Mrs. Marvel, and so now I was excited when she got this new series. And in my opinion, it was kind of it started off good. It started off interesting, and then with the whole Gang Wars tie-in, her arc really didn't get going until probably the middle. It really got interesting. Spoilers ahead, just to catch you up on where we are. As you know, she is a single mother, and her baby boy Jerry was the world, but somehow he was erased from the memories of her for a time and everybody else around her, except for Madam Web. And it was a mystery that was going through this whole arc until, say, the middle of her Gang Wars arc, when it was revealed this new villain she was fighting was actually her son, who had been aged up from a baby and turned into a villain by Hydra, and he had been turned against her. And after gang wars, he had disappeared, and she decided to take a road trip and head west. And the next few issues, were mainly just traveling to San Francisco, and a couple of hijinks, a nice little train fight, and different things going across the country. But then when we get to San Francisco, she runs into um, her ex. What was his name? David. Yeah, David, her ex, and they're on good. But they're still on good terms. But he has a family now of his own. He's doing his thing. But he's kind of her point of contact in San Francisco. The person that she could bounce things off of, and as she is working out in this new environment, she comes across a group of teenagers they're like a young Avengers, and they're I'm using some notes here, so you have to bear with me. But yeah, who are the Assembly, and not much is known about them, who is sponsoring them, how they got together. They're just the superhero group in San Francisco, and they're picking up traction. But she's not just in San Francisco to clear her head, but we find out that there is a branch of Echidna, which is a Hydra front, and she wants to get in and investigate, how they did what they did to Jerry, and if there's a way to get him back and restore that relationship, which is kind of a whole like whoa. I mean, you take a baby, you age them up in an instant and turn them against their mom. That's not something that's gonna solve itself in an issue. But the last few issues were her trying to infiltrate Echidna, and we find out in this book that the Assembly are sponsored by Echidna and Hydra, and we find that out during her battle with a villain named Zax. He's an old friend of hers, or to say he's a villain or not. They're both breaking into the Echidna um, facility, and that's where they come into contact with not just him but the Assembly. And it's kind of like she's trying to bring him in physically and talk him down, and it's never really established if he is a villain or a hero. He's just an enemy of Echidna, and the Assembly take him down. But during the process, one of them gets hurt, gets injured, and she has a flashback of you know being injected with something and taken away from her family. And, the other members of the assembly, they try to play it off as, some kind of a side effect from the guy who they arrested from his attack. But you can tell that, no, they know there's something nefarious going on. And I think Spider-Woman has a sense too. And I mean, what it hints at in a not so subtle way is what they did to Jerry, and at least from what I'm guessing, is what they've done to the assembly. And they're taking these kids with superhuman powers, aging them up, and making them agents of Hydra through Echidna and maybe other shell corporations. I don't know, but it's really, really, really picking up since the last big moment in this book was back at Gang Wars with the reveal that Jerry was this supervillain that she was fighting. And ever since then, it's been entertaining, but it's not been, something that I've looked forward to month to month. And it's not been the most captivating of reads. Entertaining, but not too captivating until this. And I'm hoping that they keep rolling with the momentum that the story is, really has gained in just this issue. So if you're not reading Spider-Woman, I've caught you up. Number 8 is as good a place to start as any. I think things are really going to heat up, and we might get some closure to that arc with Jerry. If not closure, maybe a little progression, because he's been MIA since Gang Wars. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, where the story goes. And hopefully it's interesting to kind of make up for those, few issues that drug a little bit. But anyway, that's been my thoughts on Spider-Woman number 8 from the 2024 run. Like I said, I've always been a big fan of Spider-Woman. It's one of the books I always subscribe to, and I haven't been disappointed yet. But this one is starting to roll and starting to gain some momentum. And if you don't have a local comic book store, I always suggest my friend Jeff at Coffee and a Comic. And right now we have a special deal for you guys. You guys that watch my videos, if you go to coffeeandthecomic.com and use code OLDNERDWY, that's me, OLDNERDWY. Use that on checkout. You get 15% off, and that code's good all the way through August. And I've been taking advantage of it. They have a great selection of back issues I dipped into. I got a big box coming this week. I got a big box order next week. And lots of great comic books are coming out. This summer, it's just banger after banger after banger. And you need to save that money when you can save it. And on top of getting 15% off, if you spend $69 on comics, you get it shipped for free. Or if you're a regular reader like me that has, big orders week after week, month after month, I pay $23 a month. My books show up every week. Don't matter if it's $5 or $15. I just paid it $23 a month. I get a shipment a week, and I saved me a lot of money over places like Midtown and other places that I've ordered from. So go check out coffeeandthecomic.com. Tell them Charles sent you. Put in the code OLDNERDWY, 15% off. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I am out.